Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Al Rehabs Houses, and today I am back with another video. So today's video, I'm gonna talk about getting started, right? So a lot of people reach out, hey, I want to get started in real estate. I want to get started in real estate. I want to renovate properties, right? So today I'm gonna run you through like what I would do if I was getting started over from the beginning, like where I would start and how I would kind of like build it out until I get to my first property, right? So, if y'all know my backstory, you know that I got started working for a friend of mine as a day laborer, right? So I day labored for a few months with them through a property, and then I jumped off, and him and I purchased a property together, which I ended up trying to manage and failing horribly, right? So that was like my start. I kind of learned just like out in the field, hands-on kind of thing. So for most people, I wouldn't suggest that, right? Obviously, mine didn't go well. So I realized like I didn't, although I worked as a day laborer for a few months, I didn't have like true knowledge of real estate. Like I didn't really understand the business at all. Like my few months I thought was enough for me to go out and just take on a renovation project. And I wasn't ready. So I would say first thing you want to do is like begin to build knowledge, right? Read, learn, watch videos like this, take notes, read books, whatever you can on the actual topic of just renovating properties or real estate in general, right? The more well versed you can be going into like beginning to get started, obviously, the better. And I also believe that when you are looking to, you know, build relationships with people, they are looking to see if you've like started to do work on your own or you just coming to them with no previous like effort on your behalf in order to kind of get to where you're going. So like people notice things like that. Like you reach out to people, it's like, hey, can you help me with this? And it's like you haven't done anything, but you're asking for help versus somebody who you can tell they did some back work and then they kind of ran into a snag and then they need help with that. And then you answer that for them and they'll go back off and they'll do their thing and they'll keep figuring it out, right? So people like people that they feel like are self-motivated or who have taken the time to like begin to build knowledge. So I would say the first thing you want to do is build your knowledge base, right? So that when you go to have conversation with people, they can see that you put in the effort to begin to move along. So once you built up a good knowledge base, you know, through, like I said, books, ebooks, podcasts, all these different resources we have out here to get information, right? The next I would say is you move into beginning to build your team, right? The key people that you'll need in order to get your first deal done. And these in not really in a particular order, but kind of in a particular order, right? So I'll explain as we move through it. So I would say first are your realtor or your contractor, and you can kind of build them at the same time. I don't think that you necessarily need to have one of those before the other, right? So I would say, you know, with your realtor, um, look for somebody who is newer or maybe they don't have a lot of clients, especially on like the investment side of it, but that is hungry. Like you want somebody who they don't mind going out and knocking on doors if they have to. You know, they don't mind sending out mailers. Like they seem determined to be successful. I particularly prefer a realtor who is a full-time realtor. Like it's not like their side hustle or something they do in the evenings. Now, if you find somebody and you're like, all right, well, this person just has that thing about them, like they have that drive. Like I can tell that they want to be successful, but right now they're still working a job because they haven't fully transitioned over, but I believe in them, then go for it, right? Looking for somebody who just wants to be successful. So I've done this with like three, well, really I would say two, because the third one, like we've done a deal or two, but not many. But definitely two realtors I've done at least, you know, 12 deals a piece with these guys. And when they came into the game, they were like newer. You know, one guy wasn't even fully on his own yet, but I could just tell that they had like this drive and this hunger to be successful. And so, you know, I would like invest in it. It's like if I find a property that neither one of them listed, then I'd be like, hey, I'll give you this property and I'll let you sell it. But when you find one, you know, you bring it to me. And then it like moved to the point where I'd become like first on their list. And the reason why it's good to catch them early because say you call the number one realtor in your area, like the person who's all over everything, top realtor. First of all, you probably won't get them on the phone. But then if you do, it's like the conversation, hey, I'm a new investor. I haven't done, any properties yet, but I'm ready to get going. I'm hungry, what have you. It's like, all right, yeah, I'll take your information. I'll let you know if I get something. It's like you won't hear from that realtor unless they bring a deal to their other investors and their other investors just aren't interested. Like those realtors will have investors that are at the top of their list and you'll be an afterthought. You'll probably never hear from them. So you want somebody who is like, you're trying to get going and learn and they're getting going and learn. And then it's like you're motivating each other. You feed off of each other. They're excited, you're excited. It helps move everything along a lot smoother, right? So focus on building a relationship with a, a good realtor who is, excited and enthusiastic about working with you and getting going, right? So once you got a realtor, then I'd say you need a good contractor, right? You're looking for a contractor who, I would say, one, licensed, bonded, and insured, right? You want somebody who, even though they may charge a little more than, a contractor you may find somewhere else, they are the kind of people who just love what they're doing, right? If you can find a contractor who is enthusiastic about contracting, about like just the whole process of it, right? And they talk to you in a way where um, they're always willing to teach or educate. You come on a job and you can ask questions like, hey, what's that? Hey, what's that? Hey, why'd you do it that way? And they're not frustrated by you asking questions because they actually enjoy talking about what it is that they do. These people are invaluable when it comes to learning, like on a job, because they are there, they understand it, and if they love what they do, they'll enjoy explaining it to you. Like they enjoy teaching people who don't know what they know. And because they enjoy teaching people who don't know what they know, they don't take advantage of the fact that you don't know what they know, right? If that makes sense. Let me say it again. So they know a lot. They understand that you don't know a lot, and they don't take advantage of the fact that you don't know a lot, right? Because they just love what they do. So it's like whether you're there or not, whether you understand right or wrong, they're going to do what's right because it's right. So they don't mind explaining to you that something is right or wrong because they're going to do it the right way anyway, right? Everybody is not like that. Like some people, if they can cut a corner, they'll cut a corner. And if you don't catch them, they're going to keep going with it. But then you have other people that they love what they do so much that even if it costs them money, they're going to do it the right way because it's the right way, right? So these people are hard to find. Like you're looking for a certain kind of realtor, you're looking for a certain kind of contractor. But doing a house can be risky. And so you want the right people in place to help you get to the end goal, right? You want the right people that are aligned with you to help you get through your first project. And these people are not just somebody you just meet at first sight or every day. It's like you got to do some work to kind of dig through people in order to find these certain type of individuals that'll be good for you, especially getting going, because essentially you need people that understand that you're new and embrace it instead of taking advantage of it, right? The third person is a lender. And the reason why I left lender for last is because, like, in the market that we're in now, I believe that it's become a little harder for new investors to get lenders that want to lend to them. And so I left lender for last because I think that you build your knowledge base, right? You have a good understanding of real estate, what you're doing. I mean, you don't know it all, but you know the basis. Like you can have a conversation surrounding real estate from the knowledge and investment you put into it. You find a good contractor. You have somebody who you can go to your lender and say, hey, I know I haven't done any projects yet, but I have this contractor. They're licensed, bonded, and insured. They've done over 50 renovations. They've been in business for over 10 years, right? So you have this contractor who also has a wealth of experience that you can pull on, even though you're a new investor. And then you have a good realtor. Hey, I have this realtor. They've been in this business for 3 years. Last year they sold 30 houses. They focus on this particular area, this particular buyer, or like this is their like avatar. This is what their customer typically looks like, and this is the area that they specialize in, right? You come with all these key components, and it shows that lender that, hey, although this person is new, they didn't wake up today and say, hey, I want to renovate houses. This is something that they've thought about, they've learned about, they've taken time to like begin to build a team. and now they need a lender, right? So just like when you are working with realtors, you're working with contractors, I think that when you're working with lenders, you also want to look for a particular kind of individual. You want to look for somebody who has like still has a love of the game, right? They probably were investors themselves. Maybe they still invest. Typically, I find that these people are maybe like a little older. They've been in the business for a long time. They just get joy and satisfaction out of helping newer investors get going in real estate, right? Those are the kind of people who will sit down and talk to you for an hour about real estate, right? They'll talk to you about the past, things that they learned, things that they could have done different. Like you want to build a relationship with a lender. To me, I prefer to work with local lenders, people that have an understanding of the area. They have an understanding of different neighborhoods. I can learn from them. I can ask them questions. Now, this is key because I didn't know this going into it. And a lot of the things that I learned, a lot of the deals that I did, a lot of the relationships and things like that have come through lenders because these guys have decades of experience that, oftentimes they want to pass down knowledge and understanding to the next generation. You just have to dig and find these people who are in it for more than the money, right? And that's kind of how it was with me on my first deal. Like I found a lender who, he had been in the business for a long time, and I was like new. I had only had one deal at that time. It was the one I said went bad. And I came to him and I talked to him, and he was like just my energy and my excitement about it. And even though my last deal didn't go good, I learned from it. I found new contractors that could do good work, and he took a chance on me. And him and ended up doing a lot of deals together because he took that one chance on somebody that was new, right?